Hello and welcome to Westergoss. Now, this was the series that we did throughout the last season of Game of Thrones. We haven't done it this year, which, in retrospect, a good job because there's been less to discuss.
It would have been angry.
But as a one-off special to mark the passing of the official all-time greatest TV show of all time, we are doing a one-off Westergoss to kind of pick over this last season and to talk about what we thought of it, what the fans thought of it, what you thought of it, it's been fair to say it's been pretty controversial.
It has, I think.
Before we get up, we should introduce. This is Sir Thomas of Smith.
Sir Thomas of Smith.
Yeah, first of his name. I am Sir Dan of Stubbs, first of his name.
This has spoilers all the way through, so if you watch it and you complain afterwards, this is on you. This isn't on us. Yeah, this is on you.
This is all. It's all spoiler all the way.
All the way. Wall to wall spoilers.
Wall to wall. So we're going to start off by talking about the finale. It was last night. First off, where did you watch it?
I watched it Monday morning at home.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd.
You watched it as soon as possible, did you?
I watched it as soon as possible because I knew I'd had basically every episode ruined for me this year. Yeah. And I thought I'll just get ahead of the
curve. Yeah. So one of the things about working for something like NME is you do ruin all TV for yourselves if you're not completely up to date because you have to edit and read articles that have all the spoilers in them. So I watched it last night at the Freemasons Hall.
Right.
In London.
Just a normal Monday night.
Just a regular Monday night, yeah. Just hanging out with the Masons, you know. Hey, how you doing?
Lots of the funny handshakes. Freemasons, that's very Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Well, it was a Sky event that I went to last night, so with loads of kind of super fans and people.
Oh, and this was the feast, right? And you had
the feast, yeah.
Sort of a feast.
But yeah, we watched it in the room there, which had lots of kind of Masonic sort of Illuminati nonsense around the walls, and felt very fitting. Yeah. So I don't know, that shaped my view of it. I often feel that if you watch things in the right place, you like them more than. But no, I still thought my reaction was this.
Love the Masons.
Yeah.
Hate the show. Monday was the big reveal, and I think most people managed to avoid it. I hadn't seen a lot of people complaining about it. I think a lot of people had the same way that we did it, either complete blackout on all social media or just get in there really early. Yeah. But that's it. It's done.
What did you make of it?
It felt, as Christopher Hooton pointed out on our episode recap, which you can read, just very understated, very muddled. A bit of a letdown for a show that was so big and so grand and so exciting to go out a bit limp.
I agree with you in principle. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, what did I really want to happen? Like, what satisfactory conclusion would I have had?
Exactly.
I don't know if there was one really.
They had, I've kind of been on their side, the maker side a little bit, because whatever they would have done in this last series, they would have, annoyed someone, or they would have got flack for this or that. So it's an impossible job to finish a show like this. You've heard people like David Chase talk about it with The Sopranos. Even Larry David speaks about it in Seinfeld. It's like everyone had their own ending that they wanted. I can't give everyone what they want. But somehow they managed to do the ending I don't think anyone wanted.
No one wanted it.
Nobody wanted this, I think.
Yeah, it was like the sort of Brexit negotiations of TV endings, wasn't it? It sort of just rumbled and then...
It was like taking a sick animal out the back and just putting it out of its misery. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult. I kind of liken it. And the more I was thinking about it, the more I was thinking, this is basically, like Game of Thrones is a soap opera, isn't it? In so many ways. And the thing about soap operas is they don't end until people stop watching them. Yeah. So you kind of ending a soap opera at the peak of its powers. Yeah. You have to get it to a conclusion. So, I'm thinking about it. What would be a satisfactory ending to Coronation Street, short of like Rita Fairclough going and doing a massacre around the street, something like that. There's nothing you could do.
Coronation Street spoilers there. You read all the fan theories for Coronation Street?
All the fan theories. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an impossible and ongoing, like sort of soap opera that, like you said, that everyone watches. You're never going to please everyone.
So we had a few key events, but in those terms. So when I was saying that, the more I thought about it, the more I kind of thought, hey, that's okay actually. There were some great scenes. So for me, here's one: Drogon destroying the Iron Throne.
So much symbolism, eh?
Wow, so much symbolism. Who would have known the wisest thing in the show had scales?
And breathed fire.
Breathe fire.
It's like, oh, that bloody chair.
And it goes to show probably don't make your most valuable thing out of iron.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they could have had a dragon glass throne there or something.
Yeah,
It never would have
famously.
melted. But, you know, this was the corruptor, wasn't it? So it had corrupted Daenerys. And
It was a great scene, I think. I think, even though the actual moment of when Jon killed Dany felt
Wait, what happened?
it felt a bit understated in a way. Like, you didn't realise it had happened till it after. I mean, it had to be subtle because that's what it was like in the room, but I think maybe she deserved a final word. I don't know. It's picking holes in it, you know?
Again, the more I think about that, the more it's like, that was nuance, wasn't it? So we got, like, instead of, like, everything was said in eyes and looks, and, like, because we've had, like, so many big battles in the run-up to this and so much destruction, the act of, like, of Jon killing her...
The most important death of the series was...
But it was quite muted because it didn't. Nothing needed to be said at that point. She knew why she was being killed.
Yeah.
He knew he didn't want to kill her, but he was. But he had to. Almost like that was the reason he came back from the dead in the first place, was to fulfill this destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the most glorious death, but she could have had a. You kind of wanted to just have a little sit on the throne.
You know,
just
the writing was on the wall when she went up to it, put her hand on it, and didn't sit down. It's like, oh,
yeah, missed you. That was your one chance.
You were literally right there.
Yeah. Or you could have at least you could have arranged the body on the throne before the dragon got it.
It was just, where'd he go? Where'd they go?
Well, I think that dragon's the real victim in all this because he lost his brother, sister. Are they gendered dragons or?
I'm not sure. Right. I'm just going to assume that they are all just lizards.
Lizards, right? Well, I don't want to ruin anything for you here, but lizards do have genders as well.
But dragons aren't real, of course, so...
Right, yeah. Anyway...
He lost his siblings.
He or she lost a sibling and mother. In a space of a week.
Yeah, really rough time for
Had
Drogon.
A lot of fun scorching a city, which
I reckon he
brilliant.
loved that.
He
was just like, finally!
That reminded me of a sort of like 1980s video game where you have to go around the path.
Space Invade,
and you have to clear off all the plebs on the path as you go.
I think he had it really rough, you know, and what's he going to do now? Like... Well, he's basically just been like made redundant, hasn't he?
So this is one of the things. What is happening now? I don't know if you want to talk about this now. Where's he going with it?
I'll tell you what. We'll save that one for after.
Yeah.
So there was that. That was kind of the big. You know, I'd say it's a game. It was a game of two halves. You had the big scene where.
You're a game of two halves. Tell me more.
You had that bit, and then you had
formation.
3 weeks on. They get the council together.
Yeah.
And everything's fine.
Now this is where it got a bit. Who's his council? Who appointed this council?
How did Sam get on it?
Right, why was it? And then I was thinking about it. Yeah, well, he was the last of his name because his brother and dad, the arseholes, they died, didn't they?
Do you think it was kind of like a make-up because Dany had done it? They were just like, sorry.
Yeah, I guess so. It was just like, it's everyone from a big family who's left, which it happened that they were in many ways the nicer ones or the fan favourite characters versions of them with some sort of comedic arseholes in there. So Bronn or whatever is it Bronn?
Bronn.
From Robson and Jerome.
Yeah.
You know, he's there and fine. So many things about this scene played out weirdly though, didn't they? It's like Tyrion gets brought out as a prisoner and then within a short speech convinces them to change the entire political constitution of the entire place.
He could talk his way into anything, talk his way out of anything.
But like, okay, so does that mean like if we were to apply this to Britain, would J.K. Rowling be the new Prime Minister? It's like, ooh, storytellers. It's like, where's the warlords?
So I think the coronation of Bran was...
Yeah, Bran the Broken.
It was unexpected. You know, I always thought Sansa was going to... You know, she seemed like the right pick. Yeah. But she saw that her brother was just like, I'm out. We're having our own thing.
Which was in a highly patriarchal society still. So
But I thought, when I was thinking about the ending, the only way I thought it could end well was they just get rid of the whole system, start again. And they kind of did to an extent where they're going to elect leaders in this non-existent future. But
there was quite a funny moment when Sam motioned for democracy and they were right. Yeah.
It's really fitting. I don't know if
democracy really works and it's going very well.
Famously.
Here, so, but yeah, I'm going to say as winner of the whole thing, Bran, I'm not down with that. Like,
I don't think he was down with it either.
He's barely even human. Like he just kind of just in his head all the time.
Yeah, it's A letdown.
All of a sudden, he's just like the king of the sassy comment.
Yeah, he was just like...
Sorry, you've been making out like you don't understand human interaction for the last 3 years.
That, or he was just an evil genius. And
Evil genius.
And he kind of knew what he was doing, sort of ducking in and out of battles, waiting till the end, just be like...
We were reading some kind of fan reactions before we did this, and there's a really good one which said have been the best ending that you could have done on top of that would be if he just stood up and went, yes! He's just been enjoying being wheeled around for the last 4 seasons. But
So that's basically that. John goes to the wall, reunites with Ghost, because people seem to care a lot about that.
again, we were talking about this. I'm not a dog person. I don't know if that's why it is, but I don't give a crap if he's got that one-eared dog or not. Like,
It's a dog person thing.
it is a dog person thing, isn't
I'm
it?
a cat person as well, so just like,
What a huge injustice, John. Like, so, Grey Worm, who it turned out a bit of an arse, isn't he?
Yeah, big time.
Bit of an arse. He kills John. No, sorry, he could have killed John.
He could have, yeah.
He could have just, like, he takes him prisoner and then presents him. Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, a man of honour.
Well, not really. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And then so John's a prisoner. Then he's kind of exiled for the Night's Watch. Like again.
And
what's the Night's Watch there for?
Exactly. And Bran is his brother, family member.
Yeah.
He could have just given him a pardon. I think everyone would have been fine with that because the person he
Absolutely.
killed literally talked to the entire city. So it's not like he was killing a popular sort of ruler. He was killing maybe the worst one that they'd seen in hundreds of years.
And in Westergoss political precedent,
Yeah.
Jaime Lannister killed the last one.
Yeah.
For almost doing what Daenerys did. What happened to him?
Yeah.
Called the Kingslayer, heroes welcome.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Because
I mean, lost his
he
hand.
saw that he was going to commit genocide. Daenerys did commit genocide. John kills her for it. Off to the war with you.
Yeah.
You'd be thinking, again?
I think he wanted a simpler life.
He did, but there's ways of doing it.
So that was basically the finale. And
I
then-
mean, kind of making him sending him to the place where you're not allowed sex. Again,
the boys had
he
it
had
rough.
sex with 2 people in his life.
They're both dead.
But exactly, not related to that.
No.
But anyway, yeah.
So
anyway,
there's been backlash, of course.
not just from us.
Not just from us.
See the title card. Backlash. So it's not been the most well-received season, has
So
it?
it's the lowest rated episode on IMDb.
The finale.
The finale, and it's the lowest rated, lower rate.
That's just because of
then-
online whiners, though, isn't it?
Yeah, than Dexter. And Dexter was a terrible ending, but somehow they think it's worse than that.
Right.
But the backlash is Bran. Of all
Bran,
people, Bran.
yeah. But
I think
the backlash stretches this season, though, doesn't
so.
it?
Yeah, it's been tricky for them, and I envy a lot of the cast because I think there was a lot of great performances this series. Tyrion and Peter Dinklage was amazing. Emilia Clarke, Daenerys, amazing. Arya Stark, Maisie Williams, Sophie Turner, they're all brilliant.
Ghost, great.
They just
performance,
had
dude.
not a lot to work with, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of people recognised that early on. I think from episode 2 onwards, there was a lot of these rumblings like, this isn't that good, is it?
I didn't want to believe it at first. I was kind of like,
So you didn't watch them week to week, did you?
I saved it.
You
so I could watch in a
saved-
chunk.
So you watched 3 in a row,
I
right?
torture myself with the
Yeah, that
weekly-
was a lot.
Yeah. So I watched the first 3 in a chunk.
Okay.
And yeah, episode 1, I think, okay, they're just putting the chess pieces back in place. Episode 2, yeah, this will get good soon. It's like 3, to its credit, brilliant episode, but like, why waste those first 2 episodes? Like, this was our dessert season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know? I want to be like tucking into delicious.
I want to be
twists from
spoiled.
the
I didn't
start.
feel.
Yeah.
Didn't feel
I
spoiled.
feel neglected by it.
I do.
Not spoiled.
I'm still hungry. Let's
Right,
put it
yeah,
that way.
exactly, yeah, but not in the leave 'em wanting more way. In a, I wasn't quite, yeah,
Yeah, I'm starving.
So that didn't look like the picture kind of way, yeah.
So I think the backlash throughout the series, you wrote about this yourself, it was just too short.
It was too short.
Too many, strands to tie up, too many unanswered questions. And, they had a short series last time as well. And that was a bit of a ropey season as well. You had the stupid, Night King with a javelin. You had that episode.
Yeah.
And, trying to wrap this up in 6 episodes was going to be impossible.
So why did you do it?
That's a very good point. Why did they do
Why
it?
did you do it? It's like the best received TV. I completely am on board. Fleabag, like you got
Finish high, yeah.
you got
Finish
2
on-
great seasons, and it's like, okay, that's it. And but it rounded off, and it was like that. I am satisfied by that. This, it's like we've all invested so much time and kind of emotion into it. There was no. I get that you want to bring it to a conclusion, but if it gets to the point where you go, hey, do you know what? Actually, we need another season. Like, no one would have been going, you bastards. We'd be like, yes, great, thank you.
And I think the terms that it happened on make it worse. So HBO had offered to do as many episodes as the creators had wanted,
Right.
Benioff and Weiss, and they said no. They wanted to do 6 longer episodes and just get it sort of wrapped up and done.
Right.
And so there's a big contingent of fans out there who, rightly so, feel shortchanged this thing that they've put their lives, into reading, watching, everything about it, but they just couldn't be asked to finish it.
Why is that though? Were they just bored or like what?
They're off to do the new Star Wars, so they could have whatever they did. I think there could have been, I think there was 2 big narratives in this series. The first one was
It's Disney's fault.
It's always Disney's fault.
Disney's
They're not an investor.
The mouse.
Bloody Mickey.
The mouse.
You had the White Walkers, the Night King. That was a big narrative that was wrapped up way too quickly.
So that should have been this season.
That was a whole series worth. And you could do all the little plot points to get to there and then beyond in the final series.
Yeah.
To do the big battle with Cersei and Daenerys, who didn't even really talk. They just stared at each other.
Yeah.
If Cersei was, sold so short she had basically no lines, just stares out of this window with a glass of wine.
No, I made no secret of this on the last season of Westergoss. I got a soft spot for Cersei.
Cersei was...
I felt like she didn't get her dues at the end.
I think, she got shortchanged. She was at least an interesting character against someone like Jon, who's just...
It felt like when they do multiple evictions on Big Brother and all these big personalities at the end, it's just like boom, 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 and then they never get their moment on whatever ITV2 crappy version of the show they've got. They're just out, and it's like there was these kind of lame deaths for people that we cared about so much, and they were worth so much more than that. And the weird thing was, it just didn't balance with the rest of the show. When I was thinking about this, I was like, I remembered that there was just episodes and episodes where the whole plot was to just go up north to find a White Walker to show to Cersei. That was a massive part of the last season, wasn't it? Yeah. And then she didn't even show up for the fight anyway. After one self-contained battle, they'd killed the White Walker threat entirely. What was the point of the White Walkers? What was the point?
With no explanation about...
What was the point of the Night King? Who was he? Why were they there? What was the point of it? Why did he go and find Bran? Why did he make himself vulnerable? What was the point of it?
What is the point of all of this? You're right. This
is where you get to that point where it's just telly.
It is just telly, but
I think we just thought it was so clever that all the strands of everything would come together in this beautiful bow at the end, and they just didn't. And it's like,
but the worst thing
you spent so long, you spent learning how to change your face. Why?
Yeah, in hindsight, all of those sort of threads, it was worth it because
It was fun at the time.
It was fun at the time. She became the Karate Kid and killed the Night King, but
Yeah, and she got to, feed the pie to the family pie and all that sort of stuff. Great, that was good. But, everything could have tied in. It's almost like, nothing happened for a reason in this whole thing. So the White Walker threat, which we were led to believe was this huge calamity that was approaching, was actually it was no worse than the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, it was the opening shot of the, of the entire show. The entire series was about White Walkers. The threat was there. Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Yeah.
Winter came and then, just thawed really quickly.
Oh, the daffodils are out. It's like, what?
Yeah, I think...
It was just like, I don't know why, it feels almost like if you were going to do that with it, then just get that whole plot line out and focus on the rest of it. So after that, there was just this great scrabble, wasn't there, to tie up everything.
And they were doing...
Oh, Daenerys is mad now!
Doing journeys that would take literally weeks.
Yeah.
And would take over a whole series like Winterfell down to King's Landing.
You've got serious geographical issues with this show, don't you?
Oh, I'm all about the journey time.
The fast-flying ravens and all that, yeah.
Maybe we're thinking too much into it. But I think that's the point is we've had all these fan theories, which we're going to talk about now. We'll talk about fan theories now.
Cue the title card.
Part of the problem that we have talked about is that the fan theories became so much better than whatever option the show was going to give us, and which is our fault because we just invested ourselves into it. Maybe it made it impossible for the
I don't theorise, but I appreciate them.
Oh, you were theorising, come
I
on.
theorised a bit.
But there was no way.
But mine was, if you remember, zombie Ned Stark, which kind of came true.
Yes, yeah.
So, but not Ned. They can't afford him or something. I don't know. Like,
No, Sean Bean doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not interested.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
The fan theories became bigger than the show, bigger than what could have happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say the fan theory I wish had come true. It's Bran being the Night King. It's the only way to make this journey make sense, to give any of his kind of backstory any interest or intrigue. Because if that is true, maybe he is a real villain. Maybe that's brilliant. But they didn't show that at all. There was no sort of build-up for Bran in the last few series. It was just that dude who just spooks everyone.
Just, like,
no one wants to hang out with him.
The cosmic kid over by the tree.
Oh, so he's at it again.
Any weed dude. This is that dude.
He's the Westeros stoner.
Yeah, right.
He's that kid in school who just like cannot keep it together because he's just baked out
Exactly.
out in the school field.
Like, I know. Oh, he's a storyteller. No, he's not. He makes fuck all sense all the time.
Tell us a story then, Bran, because I haven't heard you do
great stories because they sound pretty crappy.
He's so good at it that when Jon revealed to Sansa and Arya that he was not their brother, he said, Bran, you tell them.
Yeah.
The show cut away from him because
all he did was he went, he's shagging his auntie. That was it.
Maybe no.
That was it.
It's that theory was the only way to justify the ending. Or there are lots of things.
So there's one on The Guardian that I read where someone had gone on that ending route and they'd done a synopsis for the ending, which was just better, where at the end, Bran's all like, oh, I'm going to imagine what's next. Does his old closed eyes things, and when he opens his eyes are blue. As in,
brilliant.
Gotcha!
Brilliant.
The Night King.
I'd have loved that.
Where was the twist?
Yeah, it was way too predictable.
There was no twist.
The only things, there were no twists. Everyone you were expecting to die didn't die. All the prophecies were just thrown away.
The prophecies kind of came true, most of them in a way. If you in the way that, like, if you read a horoscope, you go, oh, that applies to me, sort of.
Or you think it works backwards, like, yeah, I guess, like,
like they're all kind of vague enough, like, so, like,
right,
maybe Cersei was killed by the brother because really Tyrion was behind. He's the hand that. It was he was the hand of the queen that the Queen's army destroyed.
Sure.
Cersei, fine.
But we shouldn't have had to think about it that.
Shouldn't have had to think about it.
We shouldn't
that
have had to go that far back to justify the.
Frankly, if you've got a brother with a golden hand or whatever it was, I'm expecting that's going to be the hand of the prophecy.
Well, that was great actually. When they were trying to, in the Bells, the 5th episode, when he's trying to get in, he's just waving his little hand.
Yeah.
Do you not know who I am?
Yeah. How many of these have you seen around the place? Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Didn't get in, didn't work. Name's down the door.
Yeah, fan theories. I don't know if there was any that I would have like. I mean, some friends were saying that they would have liked to have seen a kind of a coalition government at the end. Where it's kind of all the nice people from each family get together. On that note, at this council meeting as well.
Right. Okay.
Not to backtrack too much, but some funny faces on there as our old co-host Larry pointed out. One of them was the teat-suckling boy who was grown up.
Yeah.
B.
Didn't even have a line, I don't think.
Right. Grey Worm gets the territory for the Unsullied. Fine.
Yeah.
1. That's the last generation of Unsullied. Speaking frankly, they can't reproduce. Right?
They're just gonna have to.
They're eunuchs, aren't they?
Huge recruitment drive.
Big recruitment drive. Oh, what does it take to get in? Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. You're not too attached to that thing, are you? Don't worry about it then. They got one. Oh, you fought bravely alongside us. Yeah, fine. Do you know who else did? The bloody wildlings.
Yeah, they really got.
Give them a bit of stuff.
Oh, well, I assume that's where they were going when they went beyond the wall to find them. They wanted to go back though. Tallman was saying, let's just sod this. And you lot are crazy.
The Stark uncle that no one likes was still alive. After all the blood that's been shed, someone should have just popped him on that last episode.
Like we said, Sam's on there. Three Starks on there, so they did all right.
The Starks really came out of it. And the Northern in me thinks, good.
Yeah, I think...
The Northern in me thinks, yeah, good. Good on you, Starks.
Is that what you're going to propose next time you go back? Just
secede.
secede.
There's a big call for devolution up there already, so, you know.
Yeah, I think, we basically that last episode confirmed that Game of Thrones basically was the story. We're seeing it through the eyes of the Stark family, through the worst moments with Ned and Sansa, the way she was treated by, Ramsay and Joffrey and everyone like that. Arya all the way, wherever the fuck she was, learning how to be a Jedi. And then you've got Bran, kind of, Jon. So it was kind of the Stark story told. So it was nice to have that final scene, I think, when Arya decided to just become Christopher Columbus for some reason.
Yeah. Going on a gap, yeah. What is Westeros, though?
We're going to find out. That's a spin-off series I'd watch.
Westerosses. I don't know. Anyway.
East.
But yeah, fan theory things. I suppose it's not a fan theory, but I kind of would have liked to have seen Jon and Daenerys on the throne together, because they're all romantic at heart. And you can forgive someone a small massacre, can't you? Can't you? The rules are different over there, aren't they?
Because Jon kept doing that face, and it's like, oh, don't make me kill you.
Well, he was kind of thinking like, oh, I'll turn a blind eye to a bit of this, but not that. Like, oh God.
Oh, she's at it again.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about now
the biggest letdowns.
Well, I thought we were going to do the. Biggest letdowns.
Oh, yeah, it says it on the paper.
It needs to be in the whole thing.
It's a prophecy.
It's a prophecy.
The prophecy
has been written.
The biggest letdowns.
Biggest letdowns, apart from this episode of Westergoss.
This season.
This season.
We're going to be.
This whole season.
We're going to be bombed on IMDb for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Controversial. You like Battle of Winterfell?
Yeah.
Wasn't into it.
Right. Why?
Too dark.
I mean, turn your contrast up.
I know.
This is all you millennials not watching on a proper telly, isn't it? It's like, just get the telly.
I think that the lack of big name deaths in that.
Yeah.
I know you had, Jorah and Theon and the Night King, but like you said, there was so much setup, and then the payoff was we did it.
Exactly.
And then it felt like an end of series episode, or it should have been dragged out a little bit longer just to make all of it make sense. I thought there were great scenes inside that, like Arya when she's in the library trying to avoid all these zombies. That was like brilliant. But just knowing that was the end of the whole White Walker plot, basically nothing had changed.
The reanimated Starks in the tomb was good.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
That was very good.
I do hate zombies.
Really?
Not like personally, just I find they're a lazy plot device, aren't they? So when it started getting a bit more Walking Dead, I was like, not sure about this anymore. Anyway, but I'm going to throw this down as my biggest letdown. Clegane Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about it?
It was short. It was just short.
It was short.
Scrap.
Yeah.
It's just a short scrap.
A short scrap that ended
where
with them
the
both
Hound,
plunging
who we
into...
all loved, just realised he spent his entire life trying to, dreaming of killing a dead thing.
Yeah. What did you make of the reveal?
Of Mountain?
The Mountain, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of looked what I would expect someone like him to look like, really.
It could have been scary.
Like
it
one
wasn't
of them Doctor Who villain type.
I didn't look at it and go, ooh. I kind of looked at it and just went, I kind of wanted to be repulsed a little bit more.
It looked a bit like when you've had a plaster on your toe for too long and then you take it off and it's a bit wet or whatever.
That's exactly it. Do you reckon that's how you fixed it?
Drawn on it.
Those massive ones you get in boots?
Yeah. Wear that for a bit. But yeah, it was just a bit. It wasn't a satisfactory ending for the Hound, but they did at least he got to burn his brother, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot of symbolism.
Poetic justice was a big thing in this, wasn't it? So the shit man. It's the shit man. Not.
What do you mean the shit man?
Shit fella. The
Davos.
Greyjoy. The Greyjoy arsehole.
Oh, you were on Greyjoy.
You were on Greyjoy.
Oh, the Bam Margera's a pirate.
Yeah. So him and Jamie had been scrapping over Cersei, and they literally fought over her.
Oh, that was
killed
terrible.
each other essentially. So, but there's all this symbolism of like, you know, they're fighting over a woman, they each die, and he goes, they die in each other's arms because they were always, you know, destined to do that. They entered the world together, they leave together, all this kind of stuff. Everything was quite symbolic in that sense. You know, even if you've been kind of generous to the plot and pragmatic about it, the whole way it ended really is, in a way, a statement on government and, you know, systems of power, in that nothing had really changed.
We were literally back right at the start. We had a king who hadn't really earned his throne. We had Jon up at the wall. We had all of these little, you know, territories probably going to get angry again pretty soon.
Yeah.
I actually think my biggest letdown was in that last episode. You know, like in films, when they say the title of the film, when Sam was like, I've written a book of A Song of Ice and Fire, pan to camera. I hated that.
It's like we're in Guy bit where
Mission Impossible 2.
You might say this mission is impossible, or
that
Mission Impossible.
And that bit where, you know, Euron's dying and he's like, I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister. Like, who's that for? Who needs that?
Exposition.
It's so
the
like...
god of exposition.
Oh, God.
First of his name. But...
That was a letdown.
You know, some... Yeah, a lot of letdowns. This was a letdown. Big letdowns. We've not done a... What's the opposite of a letdown? A let up? Winners of the series. So you could see this. Actually, our editor Charlotte wrote a blog which was saying, it was a tweet the other day which basically said, like, one good thing about this is I don't know how it's going to end, which is you didn't really know, and because it was such, Bran winning was a sort of really, you couldn't really predict that. I think, although, you know, I think he'd been going up in the bookies rankings and stuff through the weeks, but you know, there we are. But the winners, we're not just talking about Bran. So, you know, Davos.
He made it.
He wins because he's just a decent bloke with a good sense of humour.
A good bloke in poor times.
Bronn, because the Lannister repaid his debts to him and gave him what he wanted after all that time.
Who else won?
Yara Greyjoy. Gets her island.
Sansa, she won, I guess.
Sansa won because
got what she wanted.
She became Catelyn Stark, really, didn't she?
She just became a mother.
She became a stately woman.
Mm.
She carried herself well. She's the powerful woman that her mother was, which in a way was that life cycle kind of completing itself. And you know, what's the life expectancy in Westeros? I don't know, 40.
40 tops.
Yeah. So
I guess the biggest. We're talking about winners. Got a big loser, George R.R. Martin. He's got a lot of work to do now.
Yeah.
He's got to write those books.
So okay,
to write a lot of wrongs.
Hypothetical situation. You are George R.R. Martin. What are you going to do? You're going to do a different ending?
Well, there's a lot of chat. Maybe that was the one that we saw was going to be his ending, but the journey you'd have obviously taken to that ending would have made more sense because he's put a lot more time into it. Their books, they're bigger. And he's still writing them. Yeah. We're nowhere near the end.
There's 2 to go. Yeah.
There's 2 to go.
Which are not, as someone said, they were both going to come out after this finale, and that is not true.
That's not true. He does not sound like...
He's just been living it up on a HBO salary for a bit, hasn't he? Jet skiing and stuff.
But I think he's had it rough because he's going to get a lot of the blame for this, especially if he doesn't finish the books, that he let them go with these storylines and let them go this way.
Yeah. I mean, imagine, heaven forfend, he died now. That's the ending. That is the canonical ending now of Game of Thrones, is that.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older chap.
Yes.
And it's taken him about 10 years to write this book. He's
gone travelling, we don't know where she is. She's still got a needle on her.
Maybe he's a little bit of a troll. He's actually finished them, he's just waiting to everyone to get pissed off. Then he'd be like, here's the real ending. I
think what's frustrating about it, because I know that he'd given the endings to the showmakers before the thing, and he told them right from the start how it was going to end. It feels like he kind of went, this happens, this happens, this happens, this does this. And the way they went about all those this to this point was so prosaic and like simplified that he's probably looking at it thinking, no, there should have been a twist there, and this should have happened. You should have thought that this was going to happen, but they just went, oh yeah, so he said that they're going to end up there, so that, and then it's just this linear path from that to that.
Yeah.
So all that cleverness and intrigue and betrayal and everything and twists.
There was just no twist. No twist.
Like,
Danny turning into the Mad Queen. Sure. Like, it was poorly done, but that's not a twist. That's not surprising.
People are saying like, oh, that was too much of a character change. It wasn't really. It's just because she was like portrayed as a main character of the series that you were meant to get behind. You kind of turned a blind eye to a lot of the things she'd done along the way, which were slightly dodgy and a bit power mad. And everything she'd ever said really was like, it is my destiny to do this. And it's, you know,
she was never a hero. She was never a goodie. She was always a baddie.
Yeah.
But at least you got
I don't know, it felt like she was a goodie, didn't it? Yeah.
For a bit, but at least you got an insight into her sort of thought process, which seemed to just be completely abandoned by like the last 6 episodes.
Who's your unsung hero?
Unsung heroes. Title card.
Unsung hero of Game of Thrones, then. It doesn't have to just be from this season.
From this... Oh, OK. I think Hodor, obviously.
Right. I've forgotten about him.
I think Varys was excellent. The guy who plays Varys was excellent in every scene he was in. Didn't even get a send-off, man. He just got burnt to a crisp. Like, no little... If any man deserves some last words or a pithy remark as he's getting burnt, it was Varys.
Yeah.
And he tried. That's basically what he got killed for protecting the realm, as he likes to say.
In a way, I don't know if Jon would have killed Daenerys if he hadn't watched her burn Varys like that.
True, yeah.
But then also, if you look back to the very first episode, I think someone comes back from the wall and Ned Stark sentences them to death for not warning them about White Walkers. Maybe that was the first season anyway.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff that does fly as justice over there. But yeah, this dude was like so important through the whole series. And I think it was you said to me he basically got caught sending an email to the wrong person at work. Right? That was what did
he
it.
basically got caught doing freelance emails at his work desk.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And she was just like, no, you can't do that. That's not company policy.
I agree. He got the wrong kind of death.
Brienne, I think Brienne got a rough time.
Yeah, because here was this woman that was this kind of just paragon of like female strength, power, and fortitude.
Yeah,
was like, oh, Jamie's left me. It's like, I didn't believe it.
Yeah,
I didn't believe that. I couldn't see her doing like that. I couldn't see her acting like that.
No.
I think the stuff that she stood by and went. Mm-hmm. That would be her reaction to that. Okay.
But she was running out in a dressing gown trying to... That's not what a knight of her statue would have been doing. I feel like that... A stupid plot point.
And there
could have just been... I think them just being friends is more powerful than them having a fake love story for one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has been a sort of kind of a feminist discourse about this season as well, whether like Cersei, mad, don't know, no, she's mad. Brienne. She just needs to get a good nobbing.
Chasing after boys. I think Charlotte wrote about this. It sold a lot of the female characters short by the end.
Yeah, I mean, even Arya in a way, which is, although, she had her thing of being, I'm not that kind of girl, I'm not going to settle down, and then this is my destiny, that's fine, great. But, unsung hero of the entire series, I'm going to say it's that, I want a spin-off series entirely about, the dude, Ala Morghulis, Face Man. Love that guy.
Were you into that? Right,
yeah, what was he called? Jakar Hagar or something like that.
Yes, that's his legal name.
Love that guy. I want a spin-off. Or at the very least, an action figure.
Yeah, so that's the spin-off you'd like to see, is what's going on over there.
Yeah, or sort of like dragon babies, where like they're kind of like the adventures of the dragons when they're babies or something like that.
Surely
like a cartoon.
Like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, that'd be good,
I think watching Arya go Dora the Explorer, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sounds like a good video game. Maybe. I don't know.
They didn't know. They just did it anyway.
This has been sort of longer than this season. But we've got something very special to him, haven't we?
We have.
We've prepared it with Paul, our video producer here at Enemy, and this is something special to end on.
To close out Westergoss.
Yeah, close out our fandom of Game of Thrones. And for all those people who've been saying, stop writing about Game of Thrones, we pretty much will now. Yeah.
We used to
go
do-
back to doing some music stuff.
Do you remember your ratings you used to do? What are you going to rate this series?
Oh, did we rate this? Right, okay. I'll rate this season. Yeah, okay, as a concluding statement before we go to our special thing, I'm going to say that a lot of this is all the things we talked about. The fan theories, yeah, they've gone wild. Like, so people just think about this stuff too much. They're kind of this sort of like, wow, it wasn't good enough. It's like, this is like, it's a TV series. You've enjoyed it a lot. Like, we've all had a good time. So, from a sort of step back point of view, I didn't pay specifically for this TV. I haven't invested anything other than my time and my eyeballs.
Yeah.
And some lost night's sleep. So I'm going to say, well done, Game of Thrones. No matter what, you did end it. You did end it. They have completed what was. I genuinely think this is the greatest TV show of all time. This has marked the like entertainment landscape for this decade. You know?
Yeah. It changed the landscape of TV.
So I'm going to give it four unhatched dragon eggs, which would be good if I could have said that. There might be, who knows, Drogo might be pregnant.
Could be.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it that. Yeah.
I'm going to give it 3 stories from Bran out of 5.
Okay, right, yeah.
Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I think we'll look back and just think, hey.
I also think that,
largely it was good.
speaking realistically, this will get remade at some point in the future. If we're lucky enough, we'll live to see it.
If we're lucky.
And they might fix this last season. You know, like the Harry Potter films, at some point in the future, they will be remade. This will be remade.
Yeah, there will be a Thrones reboot.
Yeah, of course there will. And they'll probably just remake this entire thing once the books are done. Fine. I'll watch it again.
I'd watch it again.
Also, you know, really, they have left it open in some ways. What's going to happen to Jon? Where's Daenerys' body going? Is there an egg? People come back to life in this world.
Yeah.
There are witches and
witches.
mages out there who can resurrect.
So when will we see
It ain't over till the...
Dragon?
should have thought that one through.
Are we going to come back and do sort of one similar for Line of Duty or...
Well, this is the big question, isn't it? What is the best?
So your recommendation for going forward for fans, sad fans who are over...
Let's get yourself stuck in a Line of Duty.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. Or The Society on Netflix is good at the moment.
Society.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right.
So here's our special thing. At the
Here's our
Oscars,
special
they
thing.
celebrate all the people who've passed away that year, and we put together a little in memoriam for Game of Thrones. So watch with us as we look back on the characters we've known, loved, hated, lusted over, laughed with, wished were dead, and remember them as they were. And from us,
Goodbye.
Thomas Smith, first
Thank
of
you
his
for
name.
watching.
So Dan Stubbs, first of his name. Thank you very much. Palama Gules.